Howie and Boyd present Two Jews Kibitzing.
All right, we're rolling.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Jesus Christ. This is going to be a whole separate episode. No teacher talk. Howie and Boyd poker. That's what we're focusing on. Or Howie and Boyd gambling.
Sure.
Vegas strips.
Yes.
Stuff. Speaking of which, if you come up to us between January 1st and 3rd at any one of the following casinos, Planet Hollywood, Harrah's, Flamingo, Mirage, Palms. If you see anybody with a Howie and Boyd t-shirt on and you come say, hey, Howie and Boyd, I heard your podcast, I will give you $200. I'll give you $500. That'd be cool.
I was just going to say, we'll give you a shout out.
Yeah, we might just do that. I probably will lie. I probably won't give you $500 at all. But if that happens, that would be amazing. And by the way, this is going to be in the year 2020, not like 2027 when you finally find our podcast out there. So we're headed to Vegas.
We are.
Tell us about our typical Vegas trip, starting with getting in the car.
Getting in the car. Well, what are we gonna? Are we gonna? I'll drive if you want. What do you want?
Do you have the wife's car?
Yeah.
I don't care, dude.
Whichever you prefer. We'll take
the chargeable one. We can charge it.
We'll
Where
work
are we
that
staying?
out later.
Paris.
We're staying at Paris.
So yeah, you should probably drive because there's no charging thing at Paris.
Okay.
That'd be awesome. Perfect. I'll drink. You drive.
And we like to make a stop before we check into our hotel, but we're going to alter that this trip.
Oh, we are.
Yeah. We're gonna check in and then we're gonna go play the Mirage tournament at 2.
Oh, immediately.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll get there at around 1.
Yeah, noon, 1-ish.
Check in, run to Mirage daily, $65, $70.
$70.
Last time we took it down.
Yeah.
We chopped, which is awesome. In the past and most recently, we've stopped at the Palms on the way up because check-in's usually later. Played some face-up Pai Gow. Hit up the full pay VP double bonus poker 10-7 machine. You still need to hit your royal.
I'd settle for any 4 of a kind at this point.
So then, okay, well, we're going to go to Mirage. We're going to stay at Paris, which means we'll probably wake up and do a morning tournament at Planet Hollywood because it's next door, right? No.
Probably.
Are you thinking Mirage again?
I don't know if Mirage does a morning.
No. 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock.
2 o'clock is usually the earliest. So we'll do a
10
Mirage.
a.m.
We'll
10
do
a.m. PH.
A Planet Hollywood.
Play some Let It Ride.
Yeah.
And then we'll if we're drunk by that time, which obviously after the Mirage tournament we'll be intoxicated.
You will be.
We'll play some face up Pai Gow.
Yes.
Well, we might find a regular Pai Gow table. Face up for total rewards seems to be the thing. Right? They now have it at Cromwell, Flamingo, Harrah's.
And we played regular Pai Gow at Flamingo.
Yes.
There was only one table.
One regular table with 2 face-up tables next to it, and we were hammered.
Yes.
Like we were intoxicated. We're like, why the fuck aren't you putting your cards up? The guy's like, this isn't face-up Pai Gow.
That was the only success I had at Pai Gow, that particular venture.
You know, I did fine there too. I cashed also, I think. Yeah.
At the not
regular,
face-up.
yeah. Which, yeah, that was okay. So we did that, and face-up's just easier for drunk people. Because you don't have to do anything. You can just actually flip your cards up and say, go ahead.
Yeah, set them.
Yeah, I mean, if they have an ace-king up and you got 2 little pair, you can split your 2 little pair and push.
And keep in mind that we look for the cheapest Pai Gow.
We are super Jews in that regard, right?
He'll play the $15 table, but I won't even play the $15 table. $10.
Look, we go to Vegas only because we get free rooms and we don't pay resort fees. Because really, what if we were paying $200 a night and had to pay $30 on top of that? $230 a night. You're not doing $150 for 2 nights. You're not doing $150.
Thanks to our middle brother.
Thanks to our middle brother who
always seems to find a deal for us.
Always has a deal. Always has a scheme of some sort. Always knows where to go, who to see, how to get your diamond total rewards card without actually spending $300,000 coin in, or $150,000 coin in is what I think it is.
That's insane.
That's crazy. Not us. That's not what we do. But anyway, we play poker also. Obviously, besides the Pai Gow, we're in a poker league.
We are in a poker league.
I run the league. My other league just ended, and I was number 1 going into the finals. I won 3 tournaments at that other poker league this year out of the 11.
So out of the final standings, you're number 1?
No.
No?
Last month I fucking dropped off. God damn it.
Was there anything, were they going to...
No, this fucking guy, this guy who hasn't won a tournament ever, and he's played all 12 years they've done it. 12 or 15 years, I don't know, remember the number, but they've done it he's never won a tournament. The last 4 tournaments, since he was really close to me, he was sitting so we'd be at the final table, and he'd sit there and fucking root against me every hand. And I'm just like, you are such a douche. What the fuck? I'll give you the win if you want the win. Like, hey, if we're ever heads up, you can win. Like, if that's really what you want. But he wanted to win the overall trophy, and he ended up doing it. We only had 2 tables at our final tournament. It's like our tournament champions sort of thing. And
so I sucked. Did you do 2 tournaments in December then?
No, they only do first 11, and then December is their tournament champions.
Okay.
It's a total free roll, though.
And how many players were in was it 2 tables, so 20?
And this was the series ending. There were 18 to start with.
Okay.
Because they only have 3 tables now. And so it used to be in the past, like the first one out got like $5 and then $10 and $15. Everyone got $50 until like 9th place, and then they started getting like a lot of money, like $650 for, not a lot of money. A lot of money for us.
A lot of money for us.
Yeah.
We're teachers, remember?
Right. And he just fucking wanted to last longer than me, and he was like 6 points behind me, so he only had to finish 6 places above me, but with only 18 people. But I just got fucking hammered on the river 2 hands in a row. I was done. Like, I was out 3rd, I think, and they were all pretty excited, I think, about that. So for this guy that winds up winning it, what does he get? A trophy. I want a trophy though. I get a trophy too. First, second, and 3rd place get trophies. They're like these little like chips.
Okay.
So I get a 2nd place trophy, but the guy who runs the tournament, knowing it was done, and we invited him because his was done. So his is done they've been playing for 12 years. They're over. He doesn't want to run it anymore. So I invite a little chunk of that group to the new one, to our current one. And he's scheduled the day that he's having a tournament and passing the trophies on our first January tournament day, knowing after I had already sent the email to him and all those other people, like, hey, it's on this day.
So he's kind of being a douche.
What's new?
Does he just not want to?
Well, first he emailed, hey, I don't think I'll really fit in with that group, but he knew the date. It was very clear, highlighted at the bottom of my email to all those people, like, hey, I'm inviting you guys to this. I can't invite everybody, but you guys are awesome, and I want to invite you guys. That was about 2 weeks before he sent out the email saying, we're going to pass out. Boyd gets 2nd place, and Patty got 3rd place.
So is it just then to distribute awards?
And also have a 2-table tournament. Well,
how many people are going to bail on that, you think?
Because 13 of those people that were on his list of 33 were people I invited. So our 2 little Asian friends, I say little, that was rude. You know what I'm talking about. He went out first in our tournament yesterday.
Okay.
He and his wife are coming to ours.
Good.
One of the other guys that runs the other tournament is coming to ours, along with his other buddy.
So we're getting some decent players.
Oh, we're getting like, at least 6 of them are not going to his and coming to ours. At least 6, including me, so I guess I'm 7.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're getting, the people that show up are cool people.
Good.
There's going to be some people that, one of our buddies, female buddies that plays a lot, the WWDD.
Yeah.
She doesn't like a couple of them. She thinks they're sexist or whatever, but I mean...
She's hypersensitive.
She is so hypersensitive to all of this stuff, but...
Yeah.
Anyway, we are getting some good players. The person who hosts our tournament told me, I don't know the people. I don't really want them to come. And I'm like, you fucking asshole. I run this tournament and I'm not allowed to invite people? Like, that was... So I did it anyway.
Yeah.
I didn't invite everybody.
And he won't know the difference.
No, he won't know who's who.
It was interesting. What's today? Monday?
Yeah.
So Saturday, I overheard him mention, hey, anybody want to host a tournament next year?
Oh my God, we asked him about our other tall, SC buddy that wants to host the tournaments, and then he's so controlling, he doesn't want to let him do it. So hey, tell me a bad beat story. Just give me any one of your bad beat stories.
How about a good beat story?
Oh yeah,
good beat story.
Love it.
This is awesome.
This one?
This is awesome.
I think I know it.
In one of our
local casinos.
One of our recent ventures down to a local casino. what's the buy-in? Was it
80?
80? It was 80. There were about 83 players, and we were down to the top 20. And I had a decent chip stack, and the guy in front of me to my right put out a good raise, not maybe doubled the big blind, maybe slightly more than that. And I looked down at pocket fives, and it probably wasn't a very good play. And I shoved in for my remaining, it was like 30K at that time. And he snap calls me, and he turns over pocket queens, and I had pocket fives. I was
4-1 dog. 4-1 dog.
And as the dealer starts to turn over the flop in the window, I can see the queen. So he's already got a set of queens.
You are fucked.
And then as the rest of the flop comes out, there's a 5. So it's a set of queens over a set of 5s.
You're still fucked.
And the turn is a blank, and the river is a 5. And I was like,
one ever, bitch! That was awesome.
So yeah, that rode me into the finals there.
And you ended up doing ICM with our other buddy.
That's right.
The other Chicago fan.
He squeaked in by not playing on Saturday night.
Oh,
I think it was 18.
Well, he told me because he won November.
Yeah.
And I told him, like, that's going to bump you up. But I didn't say don't play. But he couldn't play. He told me that.
Yeah.
But
because he's out of town. Yeah.
Yeah, he was 18th.
Yeah.
So our tournament, we have a lot of people on our list, around 200 people on our list. But really, every month we have had 5 tables. Actually, January was 6 tables. I just went through the money, and there was 54 people in January.
From this previous year?
From this previous January, there's 54 people.
Yeah.
So
we had a better turnout over the course of the year, I thought. Bigger,
Except for obviously this last freaking weekend, which is stupid, but we only had 30. So we have between 30 and 54 people all year, and the top 20 go to our Tournament of Champions. And our Tournament of Champions, we end up sending people to the World Series of Poker to play, and with some travel money, and then the other people also get paid out like 3rd, 4th, and 5th place. But our buddy who won last month, he was pretty low, then he got bumped up because he won, but he squeaked in. And so we have a lot of people on the list. Like if you go down the list, you're just like, oh, I can't believe that person didn't make. But we have so many people now. But our other buddy, hat flannel, cargo short buddy.
Yes. Dead last, right?
Dead last.
Yeah.
Well, dead last of the people that could have qualified of the 6+ tournaments.
So he played at least 6?
Oh, he played like 9.
Yeah.
But I'm talking like, and even when I cut it, so I cut the point sheet out. So and I left him on it this time too. But he was like, there were people that played 2 tournaments that had more points. So we have all different levels of play. We have girls and boys that play in our tournaments. If you
I checked that on the top 20. I didn't count the amount, but there are half a dozen girls or so.
Yeah.
Women.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah.
There was one, not this year, but the last season. We had a final table with the last 5 of 7 people were all female, which was very cool. I'm trying to encourage my wife, who by the way is sitting on the couch. If you can see behind us, Marie is right there with her hat on, just listening. It looks like a lump, and I'm pretty sure I'm looking at the feed right there. I'm pretty sure you want to hide your eyes, just so we don't know who you are. That it will look like nothing is on that couch, right? the way we digitize, or I guess we.
Oh yeah, I can't see anything.
Yeah, it just looks like a lump. Well, she kind of acts like a lump sometimes. But she's an elementary school teacher. We're going to get her into these things when we talk about teaching once again, but not today. Anyway, so we love to play cards. I've been drinking a lot right now. I'll probably maybe hit up the 7 o'clock one tonight at our local tournament, at our local place. I've got nothing else to do. My kids have other stuff to do. It is the 2nd day of Hanukkah, which means 2 days before Christmas. So our Christmas Kwanzaa.
Is that sanctioned? Can we play poker on Hanukkah, during Hanukkah?
Oh yeah, I mean, if you're gambling, you got the gelt out. We got to spin a dreidel. You got a dreidel right there. Here, give me a dreidel. Let's see what we get.
All right.
This is Jewish gambling.
If they both end up the same, we'll go play cards tonight.
Oh, here we go. Here we go, Marie. Shin.
Gimmel and a.
That's shin.
Is that a shin?
Gimmel. That's gimmel.
Oh.
What? No, it landed like that.
It didn't land like that.
It did. Okay, we'll do it again. One more time. The Jewish gambling. This is gonna go off. Why don't you do it like that?
You can't do that. You got to spin it.
Okay. Well, shit. It's gonna roll off, dude.
Well,
here we go. Here we go. Put it. God damn it! It tips this way. Okay.
That's a shin.
That's shin. Shin. By the way, for those who want to learn how to play dreidel, shin means you actually have to add to the pot. It's kind of like shit. I have to add to the pot. Gimmel's like give me. None, you get none. And hey, you put in like 1, right? Here we go. Come on, Gimmel. I never cheer for Gimmel.
Nope.
Gimmel. Oh, we got it. We got it. Watch this.
That's a shin, by the way.
That's a shin, I know.
You were cheering for Gimmel.
I know. I meant Gimmel. I meant Gimmel as in the term like give me everything, just so we can see.
All right, we gotta stop boozing then. So
look at that. They match up.
All right.
Gimmel. Yeah. Okay. We'll stop boozing. Hey Maria, I'm gonna play poker tonight.
It's
you have to exit.
It's
you
seven
left.
Parts.
7 o'clock.
That's what I said.
7 parts.
7 part start.
7 sheets to the wind.
So we'll leave here in an hour and go to my place. It's 4.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right. Hey, good poker talk. We'll talk more when we will. Hey, you know what we'll do is we will.
We'll let you know how we did in the tournament tonight.
Yeah, we'll give you a 5-minute update. It'll say poker second day Hanukkah update. All right. Until then, ching ching. Cheers. L'chaim. Peace out, bitches. Okay, real quick. I hope this is picked up. Poker recap from last night. Howie and I went down. Tournament started at 7 o'clock. We stopped for a beer at his house. It must have rained 2 inches. It was crazy. Got there, bought in the tournament. We happened to be at the same table. There were 82 players, $60 buy-in, limited re-entries for the first hour. It was just slow, and in one hand, Howie was getting kind of low in trips, but not really, about half starting stack. He raised, the blinds were at that point 50 and 100. He made it 400 from seat 7. Seat 9 raised to 1200. Comes back around to Howie, who's a pretty tight player, super good, super tight. Calls the 1200. Flop comes out. Jack of hearts. Jack of diamonds, 3 of hearts, like a 6 of clubs. Howie bets out 1,000. I believe she made it 2,000. He called. The turn comes out. He checks. She shoves. He calls and says, I got to call from a 1 time, which he's never said before. And he flips his cards over, and he has ace, king of diamonds with only 1 diamond on board. It was very strange. She was pretty aggressive with pocket 10s, calling him off, raising him up pre-flop, calling him on the flop. Anyway, he says that, hits a blank on the end, and then he leaves, and we all looked at each other like, what the F happened? What? He had maybe 6 outs, ace king. She was repping an overpair anyway, so they must have talked about it at the other end of the table where he was sitting, and we sat together for the next 15 minutes. And I know how he plays. He doesn't play like that. I texted him once he left and said, hey, when you get home, let me know what happened. And he said, well, he flopped 2 diamonds on the nut diamond draw, and he was already in for more than half a stack. And I clearly explained to him in a text that there weren't 2 diamonds. He misread it. He wasn't feeling good earlier on. I'm going to blame it on that. Anyway, I busted out after the break. The structure there is pretty decent. You go 25, 25, 25, 50, 50, 100, 153, and then the break. So they're 15-minute blinds, which is really short, but an hour, then the break, and then after the break I came back, and by the time it was 2-4, I was done. Queen 10 of diamonds also. I flopped a queen. I had raised pre-flop, flopped a queen, raised, guy called, turn was a blank, I raised. He called. The river was a 9, and we were both even stacks and pretty low at that point. He shoved. I tanked for maybe, not even. I didn't even tank. I called, and he had queen 9. He got his 2 pair on the river. So went from there to the 2-3 cash game, which I usually don't play. Actually, I went to the Ultimate Texas Hold'em table. It was full, so I played cash. I don't like to play cash at this place. Local casino, and bought in for 200. It's a 1 to 400 buy-in. I bought in for 200. I'm still standing, getting my chips as I'm dealt pocket queens. The guy on my right also still standing and sitting down. He just says, matter of factly $50, and we're at a 2-3 table. So that's more than 10x the times the big blind. He just makes it 25% of stack right away. He also bought it for 200. He's waiting for the 5-10 table anyway, so I guess he's just pissing away money. I called queen and 2 more callers, so there's 200 in the pot. My very first hand. Flop comes out ace 4-7, something like that. I even wrote a note. It came out. Can't read it. Anyway, something like that. Ace 4-7. There was an ace. He reduces his bet to 25. So I call, hoping maybe he has jacks at that point, because ace comes out, he reduces his bet. 25. I call 25. Another guy calls 25. The other guy folds. Turn comes out. It's a blank. At least I think it's a blank. He now checks. I check. Third guy checks. River comes out. It's a 10 of clubs. I'm sorry. I know there was a 6 of clubs on the turn and a 10 of clubs on the river. Guy, first better, newbie like me, but they got to bet $50 on it originally. He checked. I checked. Guy bets 100. Actually, I'm sorry. The guy bet 140, whatever the other guy had left. He takes a while. He actually did tank for 45 seconds, 50 seconds, maybe a minute. Time flies. He ended up calling. I, of course, fold. The guy who made the bet had ace something of clubs. He hit the nut flush. This guy actually had pocket 10, so he riveted his set of 10s. So he's done. And then I was just kind of up and down from there. And then I lost my first 200. I only bought back in for 100 because I wanted to go home. And then, like I said, up and down, up and down, up and down. 2 more hands I'll talk about. Again, at this point, I was maybe up to 175. I had pocket queens. I raised pre-flop, 2 callers. Ace on the flop, actually. I bet out 1 caller, assuming he has an ace now. I check the turn. He shoves the river, and I had him red right. I called my queens. He had pocket 7s and just was going to call all the way down, I guess. So doubled up there. Going up and down again. I had maybe $180 left. And I had king jack. I normally don't like a king jack offsuit. Like 4 people in hand. Crazy pre-flop bet. $40 times 4. Actually, I wrote this one down. Anyway, to get the point, I flop open-ended 10 queen blank. The guy makes it a lot, $80, something like that on the flop. 2 callers, including myself, and now I'm less than half of what I started with in the hand. 3 of clubs on the turn, total blank. I think I have $64 left for some reason. That's the number I remember. $64 left. I check. Guy makes it 100. Other guy calls, and now I'm basically a pot turn or pre-flop flop turn. The pot is over 500, so I'm 63 to make 500. 9 or king. I'm sorry, 9 or ace are my winning hands. And there's no real flush draws out there. I lied. There were 2 hearts out there, so I'm thinking black 9, black 9, black 9. It was a 9 of diamonds. I hit it, and they both checked, so I knew I had it. Flip my cards. I had the nut straight and scooped the main pot for over $500. Like 3 hands later, I had ace 10. I raised pre-flop. Another guy re-raised me pre-flop. We're heads up. Flop comes out, and now I have gut shot. So I had ace 10. It came out jack queen 4 or something like that. I had to hit a king or an ace, and I thought my 10 was also good. He bet out. I called. He checked the turn. Ace comes on the river, and he shoved. And I thought about it for maybe 5 seconds, and then called. And he shoved for like $60-something. So I made that my last hand since the table was going to break anyway. Walked with 640, so I was up 280 for the night, and I don't know. It was good for me, but you know, it's just mediocre for most people. But at that point, I was happy that I covered my tournament buy-in and my made a few $100. So that's our recap. Hopefully next time Howie will be with me. He didn't feel like coming down here just to do the recap. for 4 minutes or however long it's taking. So I had nothing to do while this thing's rendering. Our Teachers Unfiltered 2. So hopefully that's up by the time this is up as well. L'chaim, day 3 of Hanukkah. All of our episodes can be seen on YouTube. Just search for Howie and Boyd, and heard on iTunes Podcast, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, and hopefully soon on iHeartRadio. The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the individual host and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of any other agency, organization, employer, or company. Assumptions made in the dialogue, banter, conversation are not reflective of the position of any other entity than the hosts and or their guest. Our work is original. Similarities to previously published material is coincidental. All the content has not been inspired by nor is based on any other podcast, blog, magazine, article, nor any book, and therefore we regret the resemblance with any of the aforementioned and would like to assure you that it was unintentional. Moreover, we do not intend to be offensive towards anyone who listens to this podcast. If anything said can be perceived as hurtful to any community or person, we extend our sincere apologies, but that was not the purpose in broadcasting said podcast. Language and or topics discussed in this podcast may not be suitable for children, so please preview in advance of the family road trip.